So, Luce, you asked me a question about veganism, about eating animals, I should say, the ethics of eating animals. Like, is it wrong and the moralizing of that? I love that question because we, again, we accept things are true or things are good or things are bad just off the basis of what the world tells us, so we don't necessarily think about it for ourselves. And I hope that I can help you think for yourself on this and just come to your own conclusion. But I agree that if somebody came to me and said, for ethical reasons, I don't eat animals, I would applaud them and think that was a good thing that they were doing. Um, I don't look at morality though as a cosmic game. I don't look at morality as gaining cosmic points. People want to see it that way, but it's often look at how incomplete it is. I have never seen anyone's morality be thoroughly perfect. If they're moral, they're extremely moral in this regard, but then in this other regard, they don't mind that they're eating animals from factory farms where they're essentially tortured and treated like crap, or they'll praise their country when their country has committed heinous acts, and it's not that their country isn't great. Let's talk about America. It's not that America isn't great. It's not that I'm not proud to be an American. It's not that I don't love America. All the good that I could ever all the good that's ever happened to me, all the good that's ever happened in the lives of the people I care about has been in the context of America. However, I'm a big fan of me as an individual, whether it's me, whether it's somebody I love that is close to me that I think highly of. You always have to be honest about your bad. You always have to be honest about the hypocritical things you do, the diabolical things that you do, the underhanded, inauthentic, insincere, deceptive things that you might do. And so we have to be honest about everything. And like for example, we saw this gentleman who just killed that CEO, that United CEO. You see I know you're from another country, but I'm sure you know about this. I'm sure you see the blurred lines of morality there. I'm sure a lot of those people would claim that they're anti-killing, but they were very happy and proud of the fact that this man had killed the CEO of the United Healthcare. And I'm not saying that I don't understand the reasons for people being happy about that. And I don't see their point of view. All I'm saying is that people's morality is rather self-serving. Our morality tends to be self-serving, and then when we reach a point of intolerance or a point where we're like F it, then we give ourselves permission to blur those moral lines. And so, with that being said, knowing that I have a respect for morality in regards to how it enables us to be collaborative and cooperative and to not harm each other. But I guess you could say I don't believe in an objective morality in the sense that it is wrong to eat an animal unconditionally. I believe so. My point is that I agree with people who do not eat animals because of the way that they're treated, or even let's say if they were treated in the most ideal way because they don't believe that a creature that experiences pain should be put to death for the sake of our pleasure. I hear you. Here's the thing. I don't believe. I've never agreed with the notion that we eat meat just because it tastes good. I don't agree with that, and I've never agreed to that. And I've always been annoyed when I've heard those discussions where it's like, we only you. I mean, just think about it. You're eating that steak just for taste, and when you can have something that tastes just as good from a plant. I eat everything I eat is not simply for taste. It's for feeling most. It's for ultimately feeling. When I if I am to eat a steak, I'm eating a steak, a high quality steak because of the feeling that it gives me, because it makes me feel very empowered, enlivened. It feels like it's energizing me. It feels like it's helping me. It feels like it's contributing significantly to my nourishment. And it feels like it contributes more than a chicken. And it feels like it contributes more than a salmon, maybe. And then sometimes the chicken is the one, and sometimes salmon. And so I'm not so much eating animals for my pleasure as I'm eating them for my nourishment or for my optimal nourishment. And if somebody told me I'm wrong for eating animals for my nourishment because of because it's wrong to kill an animal, I would say I hear you and I respect that you don't want to take the life of an animal. But I guess for me, I don't guess. I don't look at humans as anything other than sophisticated animals. We do have as human beings, we have the ability to make a conscious decision after a lot of thought, right? We can make a decision to save a bear. We can make a decision to save a shark. That's one of the things that stands out to me as human beings is that compared to a lot of other animals will. I think there's instances of an animal saving other creatures, but the way that the elaborate means where we will go to save like a deer caught in a fence or whatever, and then at the same time go hunt one the next day. It's just human beings are capable of a lot of deliberation, and our conclusions are based off of such things as this thing we call morality. Um, I don't believe that human beings are superior to nature. I believe that we're simply a part of nature. And as a result of being a part of nature, as a result of being sophisticated animals, and as a result of it being natural for animals to eat other animals, I don't consider it to be a moral wrong to eat animals. But I do respect if we're playing the game of morality, the ethics of morality. I won't say the game of morality. I won't demean it like that. But if one is trying to lean into morality to such an extent that they say that I don't want any life being taken for the sake of my nourishment, I respect that. I hear that. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad. I mean, I get it. I get it. I would hope that I try to get the best quality of food I can, because if I'm not mistaken, I mean, I might be wrong, but the higher the quality, the more likely that they've been through less torment and pain. It's less shitty circumstances. And I also agree that it's easy for me to say this because I'm not the one killing the animal for my nourishment. It's easy for me to eat animals because I'm not preparing the animal. I'm not seeing its life being taken. I'm not. I'm not seeing it like it. I'm not seeing the process. And so, but obviously, there's many people who are on farms and whatnot who grow up who see that process and they can eat animals just fine. But ultimately, I would agree that we we should put a lot of energy and effort into whatever animals we're eating, chicken, cows, and whatnot. We should be putting our best effort forth to give them lives that are quality prior to their life being taken. If nothing else, at the very least, I I'm not high and mighty as a human. If it's a roll of the dice that a cow can eat grass, and that grass its digestive systems. I believe it has like four stomachs or something. That it has this ability to digest grass to where it assimilates into its system the nutrients and whatnot, to where that's what it survives off of. I believe I believe that to be a vegan, which is to say to only eat plant based nutrients, I don't think that's compatible with everybody, and I think it's evident in a lot of vegans are unhealthy as hell, and they look unhealthy, and it's not all about appearances, but there is something to at least incorporating eggs and whatnot. But as far as the ethics of it, the sad truth of this life is that we're the ones deciding what's right or wrong or what's good or bad. If it is our decision, if you want to decide that no, I don't want to be complicit in taking the life of a cow and taking the life of a chicken and taking the life of a fish, I, I in my mind doesn't. I don't feel insecure, or I don't feel like I don't feel defensive about that. I think I even respect it, but my nourishment, I selfishly I seek nourishment for myself, and my nourishment is often optimized with the incorporation of some kind of high quality meat, incorporation of chicken, incorporation of fish, um, and that's it. I don't think it's necessary to go so far as to say I'm not going to eat any animal. I think that it'd be better for us to say I want these animals to be raised in quality environments. And if the notion is, oh, they're just going to have their life be taken, I mean, what is their life? What is it sucks because what happens is what you begin to showcase when you talk about this is the truth about our nature, where humans are the ones that we're the apex predators here. We're at the top of the food chain here. But then I hate that notion. I hate thinking about it like that, because then it becomes so like that's why their animals are tortured the way they are, because human beings look at animals in this inferior way, where they're clearly creatures that feel and clearly creatures that experience something that resembles something worth living, and we take their life for our food, we should be grateful, and we should do much more to honor them and much more to be contemplative about it. But 100%, I take it for granted. I look at the finished product of a piece of meat, and I'm not thinking about that cow's life. So, to a vegan's point of view, or to somebody that thinks it's wrong to eat animals' point of view, I'm definitely guilty. But the problem with all of this that I'm saying is that I don't have an interest in being perfectly moral. I do not. I'll end it with this. There was this young lady I remember years ago that I was talking to, and I remember we had this conversation where she was religious, and I remember talking about, like, I don't know how we got on this topic, but it was a conversation about how if somebody came in, if you came into your home and you saw your mother was being, like, brutally beaten by somebody, a home invader, would you kill that person? Would you kill, if you had the opportunity to kill the person that was beating down your mother, would you kill them? And I remember she said, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't kill them. I wouldn't kill them. I was like, you are out of your damn mind, man. You are out of your damn mind. Like, I just remember thinking, it's like, oh, sure, sure, okay. So because of your belief in God and thou shalt not kill, this is the hill that you choose to die. Like, you're not gonna. All right, fine. But see, I don't. I do not agree with such a thing, and many people don't agree. We, like, again, like, obviously, it's utterly wrong, I think, for a bunch of reasonable reasons. I think even a robot could determine why it's wrong for us to just kill each other or hurt each other for no reason. It just doesn't make any sense. It just absolutely does not compute. Even if you don't feel emotion, it doesn't make sense for us to just be out here shooting and killing each other just for absolutely no reason. But if you see somebody almost killing somebody that you love, and in the process you have the opportunity to take their life, I would absolutely take their life. Of course I would. Are you kidding me? And I wouldn't feel one bit of guilt about it. They are trying to kill somebody that I love. Of course, if I had a chance to in that moment, if it meant kill them, or I would kill them. But and some people don't believe in it. Some people, their belief system tells them, like, no, I'm not gonna. I'm not. So it's all up to us to decide. And you see, that's an example of somebody making such a decision when it comes to human life or death, and they're choosing not to even kill the human that is in the process of almost killing the person that they care about, and they don't even want to do it then. So we could just make our decisions how we please, um, and I just don't believe that humanity is so holy that we can't eat creatures that nourish us. And I do think we could go about it in a much more quality way, in a healthier way, in a way that gives more dignity, in a way that gives more of a nourishment to these animals while they are here. But I think we're animals to begin with, and so I'm not so high and mighty that I'm above eating another animal. Um, and it's not. I'm not. To me, it's not about it being good or bad. It's about it being a part of this thing we call nature. But uh, anyway, I digress.